Hello and welcome to Marketing Margaritas. This is one of our shorty soundbite episodes, and this one is about working on your business when you are working in your business. So when you still have to get client work done, but you do want to progress your business and move it forward, or even just keep it running. That's the thing when you're doing both. A big shout out to all the business owners who need to put client work first and then somehow make time for their own stuff on top of that. And also shout out to the ones who don't have to as well. That's awesome that your business runs without you. You can just focus on the business rather than the services and products that need to be shipped all the time. So I'm very much firmly in the first camp. I do client work every day, including the bulk of our meetings and all the emails and comms and stuff that come with running a small business. Basically it's that I'm client facing. That's the way I call it. So that comes down to, like I said, meetings, quotes, emails, and actually doing client work, meeting deadlines, hitting scope, etc. And then I also run the business as well. So, there's our stuff like staying on top of accounts and finances and working on projects from our business plan and sorting stuff for staff and making sure that they've got what they need and answering their questions, etc. And updating templates and processes and, occasionally fitting in a skerrick of marketing here and there. Just all that minor stuff that actually makes a business run outside of the actual service that we provide. So I have to admit, I'm very far from perfect on this. I wouldn't necessarily take what I say as gospel, but I guess the reason why this topic was put to me is because I have found a way of being able to do it, not perfectly, but do it at least with a certain amount of consistency. And so the way that I do that for Rebel is time blocking. So I'm pretty much ruled by my calendar. If it's not in my calendar, then it doesn't happen, basically. And alongside blocking out time for big projects. So for example, if I've got like a big ass marketing strategy to do, then I will actually create appointments and block out, say, 3 days for myself to, do the research, develop the strategy, and then, a day the following week to proof it, etc., with a clean set of eyes, sort of thing. So that stuff gets actually booked into my calendar. Obviously I have meetings and stuff in there, but I also have a lot of recurring appointments that I use to help map out my time. So for example, recording the podcast. So there is a recurring appointment for Josh and I once a month where we have a morning booked to record the podcast. And then what I do is I start prepping a few weeks out from that, which is also a recurring appointment. And Josh, I think, has a recurring appointment for getting set up and stuff the day before too. Another thing that I block out is Rebel project time. So instead of when I have a client marketing strategy, I'll block out that time for that specific client work in my calendar. But for Rebel stuff, what I have is just a recurring Tuesday morning. So my whole Tuesday morning, I try and dedicate to Rebel projects. And that is whatever project is currently on the books. So I get a chance to work on us and move things forward for us. And so instead of something being specifically booked into that time, it's just a recurring appointment, and that's the time I set aside to focus on us. Another really beneficial one that I strongly recommend people look at doing is we have a Rebel Day. So once a month we have a recurring appointment that's in everyone's diaries in the team, and it is a full day for the whole team to work together on Rebel stuff. So we don't do client meetings or client work. We still answer the phone and answer emails and stuff, but we don't book in client stuff. We actually just focus on our stuff for the day. And we wear a free dress and we shout everyone lunch and stuff, so it's a bit of fun too, but it's just basically, demonstrating to the team that our business is important as well and that we are a priority. We need to also work on ourselves if we want to achieve results for ourselves and not just our clients. Another one I've just started again recently is learning time. So I try and keep my Friday afternoons for, maybe it could be doing a course or catching up on, I've got a folder in my Outlook that's called reading. And so if there's any newsletters or blogs or anything that I really like the look of but I don't have time for, I pop it in there. And then Friday afternoon is my time to go through and see if there's anything that catches my eye again. Or, if I'm reading an actual book as well, that's that time. Learning makes me feel good, and I'm sort of useless on a Friday afternoon for client work. I'm tired and I'm not as sparky as I hope I normally am. So for me, it's a good time to dial it down a notch and soak up some knowledge instead of having to expend my own knowledge, basically. So basically, I kind of have just what I call an ideal week template. It's not a new idea, there's lots of them around. I think the biggest thing is knowing I've never stuck to it 100%, and I would never expect to stick to it 100%. The ideal week template is just that. It's an ideal and it's a template. It's just to give me some guidance as to make sure that I'm prioritizing not just clients, but client work, like I said, my own professional development, things for my team, especially like proofing and stuff like that. And also occasionally taking some time out for myself. So if you haven't tried it yet, I recommend just having a crack and seeing if it works for you. Like I said, it's not something I have 100% down, but I feel like each week or each month I'm definitely improving on it, and it makes a big difference, not just for the business, but for me as well. Hope that helps. Cheers.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Marketing and Margaritas. Find more free marketing tips, tricks and laughs at rebelnation.com.au.